Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Benjamin, and welcome to this week's episode of Benchwarmers, the show where we show off some hats and the background on my head and talk about sports over the last week. But in this case, we're talking about the last 2 weeks because I was on the road. I inadvertently forgot to do a show last week, so my apologies on that one. But anyway, lovely to see all of you. And as always, if you're not a catch the show live, you can always catch us on YouTube at Hat-Club. Be sure to subscribe to us, which is a fancy word for follow, and give us a like if you like what you see. What up, chat? How y'all doing today? Starting the show off as I typically do, and thank God the mail carrier came within the last 20 minutes, because otherwise I'd have nothing. But anyway, new jersey out of the collection. Not a lot of NBA of late, but been finding more and more college. Don't know why it started trickling into that after so many years, but hey, if I get a good deal on something, I'm not gonna pass up on it. So $40 got me, and the timing on those was perfect because Oregon just played Michigan over the weekend. That was insane. My name is Eric. What's going on, brother? Um, I and Flashfire. What's up, dude? Yes, yes. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Anyway, Oregon, Michigan. I went into it way more concerned than I probably should have, just on account of the fact of how flip the script went last week, which was bad. Got handed my first loss of the season by 2 goddamn points. But anyway, so jersey that came in the mail, of course, is a Michigan basketball jersey, number 4. No name on the back just because champion era, but we all know Fab Five, baby, Mr. Chris Webber. What is up? Jared Clark in the house. What's going on, dude? Um, do I have an Ed O'Bannon jersey? Of course I do. Of course I do. I still need a Charles O'Bannon jersey, but I definitely have Ed. That was actually one of the first jerseys I picked up back in after the 95 draft, because obviously UCLA won the national championship in 95. Ed and Charles went to the NBA, got drafted. But I ended up getting an Ed jersey for like $10 back in the day just because the printing was like slightly off center. That's cool with me. I'll take a $10 jersey back in the day. But anyway, so that is my one and only jersey pickup this week. I've got another one coming tomorrow, another one that should be coming on Friday. So I'll have 2 to show off next week. But anyway, speaking of jerseys, and speaking of Halloween, which of course passed this last week, I had to show this off just because it's absolutely amazing. And the timing on this is actually kind of perfect, because we got to go back to November 19th, 2004 for the reference point on this one. This is not Ron Artest. This is actually Ron Artest the third, the son/son, who looks canny. But like I said, a day that will forever the malice at the palace, and Ron Artest the third going as his father for Halloween. Of course, the ripped jersey after going into the stands, putting a beat down on some Detroit Pistons fans after the melee that broke out because a fan decided to throw his soda at arresting Ron Artest, who is laying on the scorer's table. Um, Crazy, still crazy in my eyes as a Pacers fan that this happened. Um, excuse me. The Pacers, and I've been talking about this for a long time, were so good that year, or were so stocked to be good that year. I mean, Reggie Miller was on the DL, the IR, whatever you want to call it, but he was about to come back in about a couple days. But Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Steven Jackson, and company were handling business pretty well, because of the fact that 2 years removed from when the Detroit Pistons had won an NBA championship, and here comes the Pacers putting a beat down on them at the Palace at Auburn Hills. And like I said, the melee broke out, and Ron Artest got suspended for the season. Steven Jackson and Jermaine O'Neal both got like 30-game suspensions. Reggie in street clothes got a game suspension just because everybody's got to get suspended for this one. And completely crippled the Pacers season that year, which was unfortunate considering the fact that that was it. That was Reggie Miller's last year. He retired at the end of the season, and what a terrible way to go out, to be honest. Like, they made the playoffs, but got a quick exit in the process of that. But it's a bummer. But it's kind of funny to go back and look back on this and laugh and see what his kid's doing, and Ron Artest, or Meta World Peace, if you will, in the right mindset these days, which is awesome. Just because the fact that during his playing time, post Chicago into Indiana, really got his life back on track once he got to the Lakers and the Kings, etc., and Rockets for a short period of time. But seems to be, loving life and everything like that. And I respect the hell out of him. Flashfire pointing out the Netflix had the untold story of Malice in the Palace. I agree, 100% worth a watch. Um, it's funny how many Pistons fans that they interviewed during that still feel like they did nothing wrong, and it's just like, come on, dude, come on. Especially the guy that got clocked for running on the court because he was trying to step up to Ron Artest, and then Jermaine O'Neal out of nowhere just boom, glorious day that was. But also heartbreaking, just because, like I said, as a lifelong Pacers fan, it set us back a few years. But hey, we're on the right track now, sort of. But I'll talk about that toward the end of the show as far as where the Pacers are looking so far this year. But anyway, moving on. Excuse me. World Series. There's your World Series MVP, Freddie Freeman. And no doubt he was going to be the World Series MVP. And I mean, realistically, I would have put money on this if the Yankees had won the World Series. Freddie Freeman, still in my eyes, should have been the World Series MVP. I mean, grand slam and a triple in game one, home run in game two, home run in game three, home run in game four. Didn't have a home run in the clincher of game five, which is kind of surprising, but he still had a pretty significant RBI double at bat. It's okay. And for those of you who are not baseball buffs like myself, I will tell you this because I asked this question on Recap last week. Who is the last player to win a World Series MVP and be on the losing team? You got to go back to 1960 when the Pirates beat the Yankees thanks to a Bill Mazeroski walk-off home run. That was Bobby Richardson of the New York Yankees, won the World Series MVP that year. And no doubt in my mind, if Freddie continued the way that he did and the Yankees pushed 7 games and the Yankees end up winning, but Freddie still had this series that he was having, still banging home runs, I see no reason why he couldn't have been the MVP of that. And especially considering the fact that, let's go to the Stanley Cup Finals this last time, Panthers versus Oilers. Connor McDavid won player of the Stanley Cup. I can't remember what the cup was called off the top of my head. Apologize. But it can be done, and it's been done relatively recently. So I think there's a just distinct possibility that that could have happened this time around. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold. Anyway, but let's go through how did the Dodgers do this, and then of course I want to talk about the tail of the tape afterward in regard to ratings and such like that. Obviously, game one of the World Series, incredible. Started off relatively boring. No score, no score, no score, no score. Dodgers tack on the first run. Then the Yankees come back for 2 in the top of the 6th. Dodgers tie it up in the 8th. Then we go to extra innings. And Gleyber Torres gets one thanks to fan interference from the Dodgers. It was not going to be a home run, no matter how many times you look at that video. The fan did reach over the wall, pulled a Jeffrey Mayer, if you will. Jeffrey Mayer, of course, is going to come up in conversation in a little bit. But yeah, it was a ground rule double because that's the way the rules go. And that ball was definitely going to fall short of actually clearing the wall. So rightfully so, Gleyber Torres with the double, in which case the Yankees knock them in, take the lead. But then, Aaron Boone being Aaron Boone, leaving his guys in a little bit too long. Dodgers load the bases. And then for whatever reason, hey, I'm going to throw a guy who's been on the DL for the last, couple months into pitch against Freddie Freeman. That, of course, was the mustachioed Nestor Cortez. And go back to the other photo. I mean, that's all she wrote. Dodgers win game 1. Game 2, a little bit similar circumstance. Freddie Freeman hits another home run, gives the Dodgers the lead. Yankees can't come back. Win game 2, 4-2. Game 3, which of course was in New York. Dodgers, Freddie Freeman, strike early, strike often. Yankees have no answer to that until the 9th inning. 4-2 Yankees, 3-0 series lead. Then, of course, we go into game 4. Yankees get a win. And for whatever reason, the city of New York makes this douchebag the hero of the fucking series. Um, unreal, man. And of course, as the fallout continued, as we found out, of course, this guy and his buddy got kicked out. They got refunded their money, which is hilarious considering the fact that any other circumstance where that happens, nobody's getting a refund on this shit. But dude pal who grabbed Mookie's glove played college hockey at University of Arizona, friends with Rob Gronkowski. That, for whatever reason, means something. But of course, Barstool had him on as a special guest or whatever, made a big deal about it. And of course, people thinking he's a hero, much in the same sense of let's go back to 96 and this fucking kid, Jeffrey Mayer, who reached over the fence and allowed a home run for the Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the ALCS. Told you Jeffrey Mayer was going to come back on the conversation. But needless to say, the Dodgers did not have it for that game, even though they had a 2-0 lead before that whole incident happened. But the Yankees actually piled on runs in game 4 and got the one win that they needed. So 11-4 victory there. Then, of course, we usher ourselves into game 5. And the play that will forever live in infamy involved both Anthony Rizzo and Garrett Cole. As much as you could say that the error committed by Aaron Judge, in this same at bat for the Dodgers, which allowed 2 runners to get on, this was the fucking worst one because Dodgers had the bases loaded. Then Garrett Cole proceeds to get 2 outs. So now it's a situation of Yankees up 5-0, and the best scoring opportunity the Dodgers had of having bases loaded with no outs is about to get squandered. But then Mookie Betts, little roller past the bag, first base side. Anthony Rizzo, of course, played it perfectly from a defensive perspective. But for whatever reason, Garrett Cole just stopped running. And that messed with Anthony Rizzo's head because the fact that typically that's a circumstance where as a first baseman, all you're going to do is just lob it to the pitcher as he's running, tag first base, inning over. Not the case. The case was Garrett Cole pointed at Anthony Rizzo, hey, tag the bag yourself. Anthony Rizzo was not in the mental capacity to be able to pull that off. Mookie Betts crosses first base. I think it was Teoscar Hernandez was on third base, comes in to score. You got 5-1 Yankees. And then Freddie Freeman comes up and hits a bases clearing double. Oh, 5-4 Yankees. Oh my God. Incredible moment in baseball for the Dodgers perspective, at least. But if you're a Yankee fan, oh my God, how you still are living today is beyond me because this game was yours in the bag. And it was just this moment is what took you guys down. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Flashbar says the guy's got a refund for game 5. All right. Thank you. That actually makes more sense. But anyway, Dodgers continue to pile on runs into the later innings. And that's all she wrote. 7-6. Dodgers over the Yankees in game 5. That's your series. That's your ball game. That's your season. This was the ninth World Series to go into November. I got a video I'm making actually in regard to this to kind of compile everything. So I'll leave some of the details out for that. But this was the second time the Yankees were involved with the November World Series, the most recent of which being 2009 against the Phillies, which they won, and now being on the losing end of it 15 years later. Poetic justice, baby. Poetic justice. And needless to say, Freddie Freeman, of course, was the World Series MVP. But the thing I want to kind of go back to is if you guys weren't aware of this because they finally released the ratings recently in regard to how this World Series went. Well, on the bright side for Major League Baseball, it was the best ratings they'd had since 2017, which of course was the LA Dodgers and the Houston Astros, who played an absolutely epic 7-game series. So blame the Yankees, Major League Baseball, for why you didn't make more money this postseason. Just because the fact that 2 biggest markets on the planet came together. And I will say, I was surprised to see the ratings as high as they were, but a lot of it had to do with the overseas market, Japan averaging 12 million viewers for every game because of Ohtani, because of Yamamoto. Of course, Japanese love their players, follow their players, watch their players, etc. So happy on that front. But let's be real. If it would have gone to a 7 games, the ratings probably would have gone a little bit higher. They were definitely better than last year. My God, it was like a 67% upswing compared to the Rangers Diamondbacks last season. And personally, for me, like I liked that World Series last year. Granted, it was a fucking sweep, but it was nice to have two teams who don't typically get into the World Series. Yes, the Rangers have been in two. The Diamondbacks had been in one previously and one in 2001, but the Rangers had lost their previous two in 2010 and 2011. So to be able to knock another team off my World Series list was kind of nice last year. But hey, I got some new hats. I left them in the other room. I meant to have them here with me. I got the Yankees and the Dodgers World Series hats because every World Series, I grab the winner, I grab the loser. Of course, when I buy them, I don't know who's going to be the winner and loser. And then once the season start next year, when they bring out the gold threading ring ceremony hats, I'm definitely going to scoop those up as well. So Dodgers, another hat getting added to my collection next season. I'm okay with it. It's whatever. But I'm still stating the fact that if we would have had the Guardians and maybe the Brewers, things might have gone better. For me, at least. For me. Uh, Going over to college football, Armed Forces Bowl, or at least one of them, Army versus Air Force. Army, the 18th ranked team in the country, 20-3, no doubt about it. Their undefeated season continues. Good for them. Although after what Navy did the previous week, big loss to Notre Dame. I am never betting on military football ever again. Would have been nice. Would have been nice to see Navy get the upset over Notre Dame, but it did not happen. And I am morose. I am morose. Anyway, Ole Miss taking care of business, 63-31 against Arkansas. No big surprise there. Jackson Dart with a big game, despite the fact Rebels fans thought Jackson going out for Halloween and having a good time. Gleefa, what's going on, brother? Having a good time was going to somehow impact the weekend. And of course, Texas A&M fans had to remind Ole Miss fans, it's like, nah, remember when Manziel went out before, on Halloween before they played Bama, and look what he did to them. It's like, nah, Halloween, you're good. You can have fun. You're a kid. You're still in college. Go have fun. But just go take care of business on the football field, which Jackson Dart and company did. Friday night's game was Boise State over San Diego State. Ashton Jeanty, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had a few yards on the receiving end. But yes, his Heisman campaign season continues as Boise State jumps up to the number 12 spot in the nation. This game pissed me the hell off because Duke, for a bit, had this one in the bag. I mean, they were up by 11 points early in the third quarter, and then for whatever reason decided to take their foot off the neck of Miami. And Miami turned it on offensively, 53-31, Miami over Duke. At some point, somebody has got to beat Miami. I mean, they've been on the ropes multiple times this year against Virginia Tech, against Cal, but yet for whatever reason, nobody in the ACC can take them down. I wish to God SMU, who of course is a new addition to the ACC as well, was playing against Miami this year, perhaps in the ACC championship game. More than likely is going to be the outcome that we're going to get out of that one. But for the love of God, please take Miami down. They're going to go into the playoff regardless, but it's like, in my opinion and what I've seen, they're not a top 4 team. Yeah, Cam Ward is having an unbelievable Heisman campaign season, but nothing else about that team is like phenomenal. Their defense ain't that great. Yeah, they're just putting a lot of points up, but whatever. What do I know? What do I know? Ugh. Hold on. Sorry about that. Ohio State, not surprising to go into Happy Valley and take down Penn State because James Franklin and the Penn State Nittany Lions cannot win a big game. But also in the same sense, Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes can also not win a big game. So one of these two schools had to win. And I will say Penn State had way more opportunities than Ohio State did to put this game away. Both teams did whatever they could to throw this game away. If you saw Howard with the touchdown, that was not because he fumbled the ball at the goal line, went to the back of the end zone, ball back to Penn State. That was hilarious. And then, of course, James Franklin getting into it with a fan after the game. And it's just like, What a fucking mess that program is. But still number 6 ranked in the country. Ohio State moves back up into number 3. And yeah, we'll see how that goes from this point on. For anybody not named Oregon, the Big Ten that I'm rooting for, definitely Indiana. But I'll talk about that in a sec. Vanderbilt, big win, 10-point win over Auburn. And the magical season that they're having is still continuing. It would have been nice if they took down Texas the previous week. Would have been glorious. But no, this is the first win ever in SEC history, Vanderbilt over Auburn. And of course, Vanderbilt taking down Alabama a few weeks ago. They're 6-3 right now, 24th ranked team in the country. Good for them. Good for them. Like I said, I hope the magic continues for them. Here's the game. Oregon, 21-point victory over Michigan. Jordan James with the last second touchdown to cover the spread for the Ducks. Not really something I was banking on, but hey, it was a good feeling just because of the fact that I personally felt like a 3-touchdown lead is going to be the bare minimum that Oregon was going to need throughout the game to ice the Wolverines, especially at the Big House. But Dylan Gabriel, 294 in the air, 1 touchdown, and of course, 1 touchdown on the ground. Noah Whittington, 36 yards carrying, 2 touchdowns himself. Love it, but 117 yards for Jordan James. And Trayshawn Holden, in the absence of Tez Johnson, who, oh my God, please come back healthy by season's end, Tez. We need you. Carried the load and 149 yards in the air for him. Absolutely incredible game. And especially this coming after the Ohio State incident where he spit in the face of one of their players, got a game suspension for it, but just came back, put the team on his shoulders, and helped march him to victory. So love to see that. Love to see the players picking themselves up and patting each other on the back and getting that win. So yeah, 38-17 final score for your number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks. Texas Tech with the big upset over Iowa State. Iowa State, of course, missed a pretty pivotal field goal wide right, but still scored a touchdown after that, but let Texas Tech get back into the game and score some extra points and get another field goal out of it. So yeah, 23-22. Another undefeated team goes down in Iowa State on that one. Florida had so many chances to win this game, but they didn't. Georgia turned it on in the fourth quarter, and thank God they did. In the last minutes of the fourth quarter at that. Yeah, they won by 14, 2 touchdowns, but I mean, it was tied with like 6 minutes left to go in the game. And then Florida's starting quarterback got injured. Their transfer from Yale had to come in and finish the game out, which he did a pretty decent job until he started throwing interceptions. And so Georgia, 14-point victory there, baby. University of Houston upset win over Kansas State by 5, 24-19. Huge surprise there. And then here it is, Indiana, the technically the first ranked team in the Big Ten, despite the fact that they and Oregon are both undefeated. Indiana within Big Ten play does have a bit of a tiebreaker just because of point difference and stuff like that. But most notably, Oregon has actually played ranked teams, whereas Indiana has, I think they've only played one. Illinois this last week, if I'm not mistaken, or no, either way. But hey, Indiana getting their due. First 9-0 start ever in program history. The most notable bowl that they've ever had, I think, goes back to 1958 with the Rose Bowl. So already bowl eligible on top of which, but hey, one of the top 2 teams in the Big Ten. Never in my life would I have thought like, oh yeah, this is going to be the year that's going to do it. So, but here we are. Louisville, big upset win over Clemson. Thank God for that. I hate Dabo Swinney. I hate Clemson. Glad to see them fall out of the top 12. 33-21, Louisville over Clemson. If Logan Herrera is here, I'm sorry I got to bring this game up. But the Gamecocks of South Carolina, 24-point victory over Texas A&M. I did not see this one coming. But then again, after a few games this year, watching Texas A&M let lesser teams hang in there, Bowling Green comes to mind. It's not a real surprise at the end of the day. And South Carolina's hung with some pretty big programs this year. And I mean, as much as Lincoln Riley at USC, University of South Carolina, not University of South. Sorry, University of Southern California, not South Carolina, because there are two USCs there technically. But Lincoln Riley has been talking all season about like, oh yeah, we're like 5 plays away from being undefeated. Sure, whatever. South Carolina realistically is because they were 1 play away from beating Alabama. And if I'm not mistaken, they were 1 play away from beating Tennessee or Georgia, or whoever. But yeah, they got the win this week. Big win. Hold on. Sorry, I had a hair in my mouth. It was gross. But speaking of Tennessee, 18-point victory over Kentucky. This was another game where Kentucky, week to week under Mark Stoops, they're either going to be a great team or they're going to be an abysmal team. And it's not to say they were abysmal this weekend against Tennessee, but it's like, as you can see by the halftime score, 10-7, like they had Tennessee on the ropes. Like Kentucky is more than capable of taking down some powerhouses. They almost did it to Georgia. They got screwed on 1 play, which should have been an interception and a pick 6 for that matter. But not the case this time. They lose by 10. Tennessee jumping up into the top 7. And SMU, as I was talking about in regard to a possible ACC school that can take down Miami, 48-25 over Pittsburgh. Huge game for them. SMU's only loss on the season, BYU. I think it was the second game of the season. It was a 3-point victory for the Cougs. And they're undefeated as well. So let's take a look at the top 25. Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, Texas round out the top 5, followed by Penn State, Tennessee, Indiana, BYU at number 9, and Notre Dame at 10. Gross. Big game this weekend between Alabama and LSU, which of course is going to basically determine which one of them is going to be still in contention for a playoff spot. I've got my pick. I'm going to talk about that in Ben's bets at the end of the show. But, still some other schools that are just kind of hanging and banging and staying in there. But oh my God, if I just hope Notre Dame gets knocked out. I cannot deal with the 12-team playoff with Notre Dame hanging in there. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let's see the chat. Yeah, Tone Cruz, what up, brother? Gleefa, I appreciate that, man. I always do this on Mondays, and then Tuesdays is going to be Flip the Script, where I play College Football 25, and then of course we do the main show recap still on Wednesday. So tune in, baby. Um, Flashfire says, I believe Oregon's played 2 teams in the top 25 at the time. Well, Indiana hasn't played anybody yet. And of course, Boise State wasn't rated when Oregon played them. That's correct. But as we've seen with Boise State, now being a top 12 team, clearly the loss by Boise State affected Oregon more than it affected Boise State, which is actually kind of hilarious. Because if you guys don't remember, Oregon, barely beat Idaho. Then the next week, they barely beat Boise State. Oregon started the season ranked number 4. And then after those 2 victories, they fell to 9, which makes no goddamn sense. And now, thankfully, Oregon, the planet has righted itself. They're number 1, unanimous number 1 at top of which, too. Wilner from the goddamn San Jose Mercury last week said Georgia was the number 1 team. Finally, this week, changed his tune and realized Oregon is the top dog in the country. But yeah, the fact that Boise State has gone up to number 12 despite losing to Oregon really goes to show how much the AP doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. And even the coaches poll, hard bias going on in there. It's only going to matter finishing in the top 12 or just finish the season undefeated. That's the only way you guarantee yourself a top playoff spot, get that bye in the first round, whatever. That's all Oregon needs to focus on. And I know Dan Lanning is focused on that. Just because the way he answers questions when they got to number 1 in the first place, and he said, who cares? That was my pet game talk a couple weeks ago in regard to, Oregon controls their own destiny. All they have to do is not lose a game. And they're doing a great job of that. They got Maryland this weekend at home, which should be a victory. And then they got Washington to end the year. But after they play Maryland, they go to Camp Randall to play Wisconsin, which I'm a little concerned about just because the fact that Wisconsin is a great first half team, but a terrible second half team. Oregon, also a great first half team, terrible second half team. The fact that in 7 games now, Oregon has only scored 6 total points in the third quarter. What the fuck, guys? Like, this matters. This shit matters. And especially going to Camp Randall, it's going to be interesting. Really bummed my wife and I can't go. She's a big Badger fan, but it's okay. We'll watch on TV together. So anyway, moving on the NFL, Thursday night's game, bit of a surprise, but at the same time, not really. Houston Texans, of course, down their top receivers. Joe Mixon had a decent game for the Texans. I felt like that was going to make more of a difference, but the Jets actually have a better defense than the Texans do. So Jets 21-13 victory. The first game or the first win they've had since firing Robert Saleh. So I'm not going to say the tide has turned for the Jets in any capacity. They're still terrible. It's the Jets. It's the fucking Jets. This game pissed me the hell off. Panthers 1-point victory over the Saints. And here's why it pissed me off. Game 1 of the year, or game 1 of the season, I should say, the Saints rolled the Panthers by like 40 points. So I went into expecting like essentially the same result. Derek Carr's back. A lot of healthy players and stuff for the Saints. The Panthers have moved back to Bryce Young at quarterback. We're going to get the same result. But holy shit. Bryce Young, poise, baby. The word that always goes around college and NFL. Poise in regard to quarterbacks. Had a decent game. Good for him. Derek Carr, dangerous quarterback. And if you guys didn't see Michael Thomas, former receiver for the Saints, going off on social media yesterday, Derek Carr continuously puts his receivers in harm's way by throwing the ball too high. Chris Olave got taken out of the game. Severe concussion on his part. He's probably going to be out for a game or two because of that. Tone Cruz took the Panthers live at plus 650. Good for you, man. Good for you. I, of course, am in California, not Nevada this weekend, so I could not do that. Otherwise, I probably would have. But hey, the Saints end up firing their head coach. Thank God for that. Now, of course, Saints fans want Derek Carr gone, and I can't say I disagree with them on that. So Derek Carr, week after week, has gone out and proven he's not a leader. He's going to put his players in injury in harm's way, and this sucks. So it's just a bad situation for everybody in that regard. But hey, the Panthers won, so good for them. Commanders 27-22 victory over the Giants. Jaden Daniels continuing his hot hand, 2 touchdowns in the air, 209. And of course, Austin Eckler, 42 yards on the ground and a touchdown there. Giants woes continue. I had this photo out of order. Why did I do that? There we go. So Buffalo Bills with the 30-27 victory, which I kind of figured was going to happen over the Miami Dolphins. Spreading this game was 6.5 points. So of course I took the Dolphins plus 6.5, which is the smart move. What I wasn't expecting was, like I said, these are out of order. Tyler Bass, of all people, knocking back a 61-yard field goal to win it for the Bills after he had already missed 37 yards for an extra point, which would have won it for them in regulation, but didn't. But it's, a borderline NFL record 61-yard field goal to win against the Dolphins in Buffalo, of all places, which is windy as fuck to do it in. So good for him. Good for the Bills. It's such a weird ass team. But Bills go to 70-2 on the season. Rulers of the AFC East. Chargers, Justin Herbert, my boy from Oregon, 27-10 victory over the Browns. Myles Garrett with I think he had 3 or 4 sacks in this game. That man needs a new home. That man desperately needs a new home. And I picked and favored the Browns. I felt like after last week with what Jameis Winston did, playing a borderline perfect game against the Ravens, I thought he was going to come out and do the same thing against the Chargers. He didn't. He had 3 interceptions thrown in the second half of this game, which is a huge bummer. But 27-10 victory in favor of Justin Herbert, the Oregon Duck, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Before this game started, I had the Titans minus 2.5 points. But then I changed my pick because, Drake May's playing. The Pats will make it interesting, possibly even win. Fuck. Why did I change my pick? Because the Titans won in overtime by 3 points and covered the spread for them. God damn it. 20-17 final score. I can't believe it. Logan Herrera, what's up? He says, I want Jerry to bring him home, but the Cowboys just need to punt this season. I agree with that. And I'm going to talk about the Cowboys here in a second because of one stat line in particular, which pissed me the hell off yesterday. Oh, here it is. 27-21, Falcons win. They, of course, are the rulers of the NFC South, which sucks for me as a Buccaneers fan. But really, the stat you got to look at in regard to the Cowboys, 1 for 5 on fourth down efficiency. There are so many chances, the Cowboys, or opportunities where they should have punted on that fourth down, but they didn't because, hey, they're within 2 yards. They're going to go for it. But it was bad field position for them. I mean, in 2 cases, they weren't even across the 50-yard line. Like, McCarthy, what the fuck are you doing? But then there were cases where it's like, you know what? They were in field goal position. Take the goddamn points. Take the goddamn points. And they didn't do it. That's it. Needless to say, I think Logan Herrera. Oh, the fake punt. Yeah. What the fuck, man? I forgot about that. I saw it happen and I forgot about it. Could not believe that. And I know Logan agrees with me on this one. Just fire everybody. Just fire everybody. Fire everybody. My God. Oh, I could not believe it. Yeah. So bad. Bengals took care of business. I was a little worried because I took the Bengals in my points. I took them minus 7.5, which obviously paid off. They were pissing me off in the first half quite a bit, but they took care of business in the second half. Thank God. 17-point victory over the Raiders. No surprise there. Raiders, of course, firing their offensive coordinator. It's the first domino to fall, folks. I'm curious if Antonio Pierce is going to last the season or not. Baltimore Ravens 41-10 over the Denver Broncos. The only highlight for the Broncos in this game was Cortland Sutton hitting a touchdown pass to Bo Nix, of all people. Bo Nix, of course, proving he has the best hands for a receiver on that goddamn team. Which is so frustrating and so heartbreaking for Bo because there have been so many opportunities this year where Bo should have more first downs, more touchdown passes, etc. But his receiving core is garbage. So there you go. 31-point victory for the Ravens. Bears losing the Cardinals. No surprise there. Interesting that they couldn't get the roof closed while it rained and pissed all over the field in Arizona. That was fascinating to watch. But regardless of which, Kyler Murray and company, 29-9 victory over the Bears. Jaguars, you lost, but you know what? The spread was 6.5 points, and I appreciate you guys for covering on this one. So Eagles 28, Jaguars 23. Of course, the moment of the game was Saquon Barkley and hurdling a dude backwards. The man is a freakish athlete, and I love him to death, despite the fact that he went to Penn State for college. New York Giants, y'all are cursed because you gave up on this beautiful man, and y'all deserve to lose. So, good win for the Eagles there. Seahawks, what the fuck? So, going back to what I was saying about the Cowboys being in a prime position on fourth down, what are you supposed to do? And of course, I'm talking about overtime. Matt Stafford called heads. Coin was tails. And I mean, the Seahawks just moved quickly down the field, got to about the 22, 23-yard line, got pinned, 4th and 1 situation. What do? It's overtime. What do? I'll tell you what you do. And I'm not a football coach of any capacity. You kick the goddamn field goal. Get those points on the board because then all you have to do is play defense tough for 4 plays and the ball game's over. But instead, what did they do? They went for it and they got stuffed. And then Matt Stafford and company, because for whatever reason, the Seahawks have 0 to no secondary. Rams marched the field, scored a touchdown, game over, Rams win. Sad. I had the Seahawks plus 0.5. Hell, even if the game ended in a tie, I would have won that one. Fuck. But they did not. So, anyway. Pete Carroll would have kicked the field goal. That's all I got to say on that. Lions, 4.5 points was the spread. They win by 10 in Green Bay, 24-14. Love to see it. And then the Colts, my God. Just Vikings win 21-13, but there were so many opportunities that the Colts could have come back and tied or at least kept this close. The spread in this game was 5.5 points, and I took the Colts plus 5.5. The hell was I thinking? My God. But of course, we got tonight's game, Monday night, Buccaneers versus Chiefs. I will talk about that here in a minute for Ben's bets because we'll see. English Premier League. Crazy weekend this weekend. What the hell? I did not bet on Premier League this weekend, and if I did, I would have lost. Because there was no way I was taking Newcastle over Arsenal. That fucking happened. Amazing that it happened. Liverpool over Brighton. I believe it. 2-1 victory. I think I definitely would have picked that one. What else we got? Ipswich and Leicester City. Draw. And surprising. I mean, not surprising. Ipswich scored first, but then the red card that Ipswich got, which allowed Leicester to score in stoppage time, which was great to tie it up. But still, Ipswich, you should have won this game. This was the most shocking of the weekend. Bournemouth, 2-1 victory over Man City. And of course, as I saw after the fact, it's more than likely that Man City is going to win like 28 straight now. For whatever reason, every year it seems like they always have like one stupid loss. And Bournemouth being the team that would beat Man City was not the team I was expecting to do it. I would expect, a much higher ranked team. But this is surprising in the sense of like Nottingham Forest taking down Liverpool a few weeks ago, which is going to be interesting when I show the standings for the table here in a minute, how that one's shaking out. Southampton, win over Everton. God damn it, Everton. What the hell? I don't want you guys to get relegated. You're still out of the relegation zone, but still unacceptable. Nottingham Forest, 3-0 victory over West Ham. Good for them. Wolverhampton, Crystal Palace with a 2-2 split. Tottenham beating the brakes off of Aston Villa. I'm okay with it, even though I shouldn't be, but I'm okay with it. 4-1. Man United, Chelsea. This was dumb as hell. Chelsea should have won this match, but whatever. I'll take a point. And then this game, which was today. I had to wait till this game finished before I got the final standings for the weekend. Yeah, you're seeing that right. Brentford had a 1-0 victory sewn up, and Fulham iced 2 goals, the equalizer and the game-winning goal, 5 minutes apart in stoppage time. That's unfortunate. Defense. That's all you got to do. Just kick the ball out. Clear it. Do whatever you can. Fuck. You cannot allow 2 goals in fucking stoppage time at the end of the game and lose. That is unacceptable. And the reason why I'm miffed about Chelsea not getting the win over Man United is because had Chelsea won, that would have given them 2 more points. It would have taken them to 3rd place, but it's still surprising. Liverpool 1, Man City 2, Nottingham Forest, 3rd place. Of all the fucking teams that could be 3rd place right now after 10 games, I would not have picked Nottingham Forest anywhere close to that. But Chelsea hanging on to 4th place despite the 3-way tie between Arsenal and Aston Villa. Goal differential, baby. That's how they're in the 4th spot. But Tottenham, Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth finishing out the top 10. Relegation zone right now, Wolverhampton, Southampton, Ipswich. But yeah, Crystal Palace, Everton. You guys are looking close. It's not good. Not good at all. Yeah, Flash. The game was crazy. How you allow 2 goals in stoppage time? Beyond me. Did I forget my NBA picks? I forgot to post them. Whatever. I was gonna put up something in regard to. I'll come back to my picks here in a second. Just in regard to how the standings are looking for the NBA. Cleveland Cavaliers, 1st place, 7-0, baby. And of course, one of the worst teams in the league right now, at least in the Eastern Conference, is the worst team. Milwaukee Bucks at 1-5. I've said it for many years. not necessarily on Benchwarmers, but just in life in general, Doc Rivers should be nowhere near a head coach for a professional basketball team. So many people put so much faith in Doc, despite the fact that it's like, yeah, he won a championship with the Celtics back in 2008 or 2009, whenever the hell it was. Oh, wait. Yeah, it was 08 because Lakers won in 09. And it's like, why? Like, of course that team was going to win a title. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett. Dude, nobody could have been coaching that team and they would have fucking they would have had that title regardless. Yeah, it was against the Lakers, which is a huge deal back then, but the Lakers didn't become, the different beast or the same animal until they won it in 09. When Kobe just completely went full kill mode. My God. Like, and it's hilarious that Blazer fans last season, when he got traded to Milwaukee for Dame Lillard, were so happy. Oh, he's going to win a title. It's going to be great. Nah, bro. Somehow Dame found himself in a way worse situation. And the writing on the wall took place last year before the season even started, when Terry Stotts was just like, peace, I'm out of here. And I mean, granted, the Bucks had a difficult but better environment under Adrian Griffin because they were one of the best teams in the league. Then they fire him despite what? They were 33-12 or something like that. They had some crazy, amazing record. And then they bring Doc Rivers in and just plane hit the mountain. So I don't feel bad for Doc. I don't feel bad for the Bucks. I do feel bad for Dame. Like, man needs a trade now. And the fact that Giannis is already talking about possibly being somewhere else next season. My God, dude. What a fucking mess. But the fact that so many teams keep holding Doc Rivers into some high regard just makes absolutely no sense. It's like watching the NFL cycle through the same head coaches and coordinators year after year after year. It makes no goddamn sense other than the fact that, well, this dude is friends with this guy, so because they're buddies, I'm going to help you get a job. That is so fucking dumb. Anyway, that's all I'll say on that. Doc Rivers, I mean, it's already bad enough. The Bucks are paying two people to not coach their team, but they're paying another person to poorly coach their team. And then on top of which, oh yeah, let's bring Darvin Ham in as an assistant coach. That's going to make things better. Nope. Terrible. Like, granted, Darvin Ham is a Milwaukee legend. He was a great player for the Bucks, but he's a terrible fucking coach. Like, how people just don't see this shit at a business level, let alone a front office level, is beyond me. Already rumors about Giannis going to Brooklyn, Giannis going to Miami. Yeah, it's going to happen. The Bucks are going to blow it up, and it's all Doc Rivers' fault. So congratulations. Actually, I mean, if anything, it's their general manager and their owner's fault. Fuck them. Cavs up 13 on the Bucks right now at halftime. Love to see it. Good for the Cavs. All right. Anyway, so going back to the last show that I did, which of course was 2 weeks ago, here are my Ben's bets from this. Navy did not do the job against Notre Dame. Wah. Dodgers versus Yankees. That, of course, was game one of the World Series, which, thank you, Freddie Freeman. That same day, the Pacers got absolutely eviscerated by the Knicks by like 30 points. Oh, so bad. And speaking of the Pacers, James Wiseman, backup center, torn Achilles. Isaiah Jackson, backup center, torn Achilles. The Pacers have nobody who can play center on the bench right now. This is so bad. But what did they do? They beat the fucking Celtics because, as I was saying last year, there is only one team in the league who can run with the Celtics. And even though we didn't see it to a full capacity, although we kind of did in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, because realistically, even though the Pacers got swept, 3 of those games came down to what? 2 points, 1 point, whatever. God, so damn unfortunate. And then, of course, the Commanders beat the Bears. That was the great Hail Mary pass play by Janie Daniels, which saved me on that pick. So I went 2-2 the previous time. This week, I got Bama over LSU, money line, -145 because, of course, they are the favorites. Tonight, I've got the Buccaneers to cover the 8.5-point spread against the Chiefs. That'd be good. Friday night, I've got the Kings, Sacramento Kings over the Clippers. And this weekend for soccer, I've got Leicester City over Manchester United because Manchester United has been playing like ass of late. And yeah, I feel like if there's a time for Leicester City to do me a solid at plus 650, this weekend would be the time to do it. But anyway, the thing I want to talk about that Flashfire brought up when we first came in has to do with the hat that I'm wearing. Of course, I always try to cycle through Oakland hats as much as possible. But today is the day. Today is the day that the A's organization decided to drop a city name from their title. They are going to be playing in Sacramento in this next season at Sutter Health Field, also known as Rayleigh Field, as it used to be, blah, blah, blah. No city name affiliation. They're not even going to be West Sacramento. They're not going to be Sacramento, whatever. They're just going to be the Athletics for the next 2 to 3 years, projectively, because people are still in the impression that they're going to Las Vegas. They ain't. It's just becoming a worse situation there financially for everybody, despite the fact that John Fisher himself said, oh, he's going to dedicate $1 billion to getting that stadium built in Vegas. Bull fucking shit. The man is not dedicating money to fucking anything unless he's making money on it. Like, prime example, look at any A's payroll under John Fisher ownership. He didn't really lose money because the fact that he was getting money on the back end because of revenue sharing. So, what a goddamn mess. This one goes out to Rob Manfred and everybody else in the office of Major League Baseball. Y'all fucking did this. Y'all fucking created this. And every other owner in Major League Baseball who voted to allow this to happen, this shit's on your fucking hands. Fuck all of you. That's a good place to leave it. So anyway, guys, as always, pleasure to do this with you guys. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully feeling better for Flip the Script, as I try to get back on a win streak with the Oregon Ducks because, man, fuck Michigan. Anyway, guys, as always, take it easy. And if you don't, take it sleazy. Peace. And see you tomorrow for Flip the Script, Wednesday for recap. Take care, guys.